8 News Now, as well as our app.
One of the central figures in an FBI probe into alleged police corruption had his original sentence greatly reduced today. Ocean Fleming ran a prostitution ring that was busted by Metro Vice cops more than 7 years ago. He could have served up to life behind bars, but was offered a deal after his attorney pushed for a new trial in which explosive testimony would have surfaced. George Knapp of the I-Team has been following the story from the beginning. George.
Ocean Fleming has alleged for years that he was set up by vice cops who were working for a rival in the prostitution racket, but no one believed him. That is, until the story broke about an FBI investigation into possible police corruption. Fleming pushed for a new trial, then was offered a deal. Even at today's sentencing, things got testy.
I knew Detective Bachman and Diaz years before this case even started. I know too much, and that's just the bottom line to it. I don't want to rehash it. I don't want to bring it up.
Ocean Fleming seemed willing to let bygones be bygones at his sentencing hearing because he got what he wanted most. 20 of 23 charges were dismissed, which means he could soon be eligible for parole. But Fleming knows the allegations he made about the detectives and the prosecutor who put him away are the reason he was offered a deal at all.
Even today, Judge, even today at sentencing, none of this happened. That's the message that the defense is giving you. None of this happened, Judge. It's all a big conspiracy, and Mr. Fleming is the victim.
Special Prosecutor Adam Gill, who is often referred to alleged police corruption as a, quote, conspiracy, argued for the maximum possible sentence, even though it was Gill who offered the plea deal in the first place. Gill, a defense attorney, was appointed as prosecutor after the DA's office had to recuse itself. That happened when it was learned the FBI has been investigating Deputy DA Liz Mercer, who prosecuted Fleming. Mercer is married to former detective Chris Boffman, the star vice cop who arrested Fleming. Boffman took the fifth when asked about Fleming and when asked about allegations he may have conspired with a rival escort kingpin, Molly Mall. Fleming's attorney, Janice Marshall, spent a year trying to win a new trial for her client. That ended when the plea deal was offered. Marshall wanted to prove on the stand that witness testimony had been manipulated.
They were coached, they were coerced. The evidence that the court never considered the conspiracy of the women with Molly Mall.
Marshall and Gill battled back and forth about the legitimacy of the parole and probation sentencing recommendation, since it is largely based on information gathered by the same detectives who are now under suspicion. In the end, Judge Michael Villani accepted the plea deal, but handed down a tougher sentence than what Fleming sought. The judge said he was troubled by what he's learned during the appeal.
If we believe the allegations, it's very troubling how some of the officers conducted themselves in this case.
Outside the courtroom, Fleming's family expressed relief and frustration.
But at the same time, you have other people that are involved that committed crimes, never been arrested, never did a day in jail. He's been there over 7 years, and they still want to keep him longer.
He admitted to what he did, you know? He's been gone since I was like 12, 13. I'm 20. I'm 20 now. I have little siblings. You know, she's 10. We need our dad.
Before this deal and this sentence, Fleming would not have been eligible for a parole hearing for another 9 years. The judge ordered his remaining sentences to be served consecutively. It's unclear how much time he still needs to serve before he could be eligible for parole.
And George, what about the FBI investigation? Any idea where that stands?
You know, I'm not making any predictions about it anymore. The FBI, of course, does not comment about ongoing investigations, not even to confirm if one exists. We know that I know the names of more than a dozen people who've been interviewed by agents, so it was real at one point. Ocean Fleming is one of them. No charges have been filed against any of the of what we believe are the targets of that investigation. One woman in California has been charged in connection with this case. She used to work for Molly Mall, but that's it so far.
Wait and see.
Yes.
Thanks, George.